Let me start with a story I hear far too often. A daughter in Walnut Creek called me in a panic. Her mom had just wired $18,000 to someone claiming to be from Medicare. The caller knew her full name, address, doctor's office, and even the name of her pharmacy. By the time the family realized it was a scam, the money was gone. What shocked them the most wasn't just the loss, it was this. Her mom was smart, independent, sharp, and yet she still fell for it. And that's exactly what I want to talk about today. Because seniors don't fall for scams because they're careless. They fall for them because scammers know exactly how to exploit fear, trust, and urgency. Hi, I'm Dale Corpus, the Senior Transition Specialist and real estate expert based in the San Francisco Bay Area. I'm also part of the sandwich generation, balancing work, family, and aging parents, just like many of you watching. This is another episode of Sandwich Generation Solutions, powered by the Simplify Senior Transitions podcast, where we talk honestly about the things families aren't prepared for, but absolutely need to be. Today, we're diving into a topic that affects millions of families every year: why seniors fall for scams and how to stop it before it happens. Let's dive in. Why seniors are targeted. First, let's clear something up. Scammers don't target seniors because they're weak. They target them because they're valuable. Here's why. Seniors often have savings, home equity, pensions, or retirement income. They're more likely to answer the phone or open mail. Many were raised to trust authority figures, and they often don't want to bother their kids or admit something feels off. Add in cognitive decline, isolation, or grief, and scammers see opportunity. Let's talk about the psychology behind senior scams. Most scams rely on three emotional triggers. The first one is fear. You owe back taxes. Your Medicare will be cut off. Your grandson is in jail. Fear shuts down logic. The second one is urgency. You must act right now. This is time sensitive. Don't tell anyone. It can make things worse. Urgency prevents second opinions. The third is authority. They pretend to be Medicare, Social Security, the IRS, banks, doctors, even caregivers or utilities. And once authority plus urgency plus fear hit all at the same time, smart people make fast decisions. Here are the most common scams I see in the Bay Area, the ones that families tell me about most often. Medicare or Social Security scams, grandparent scams, your grandchild needs bail money, utility shutoff threats, romance scams, especially after a spouse passes, contractor or home repair scams, fake investment or crypto schemes, caregiver financial abuse. And many of those don't start big. They start small. $300, $500, just enough to test compliance. Why families miss the warning signs? Families often tell me, we had no idea this was happening. That's because warning signs are subtle. New secrecy around finances, unpaid bills, sudden ATM withdrawals, new friends calling constantly, emotional changes, anxiety, defensiveness, embarrassment, missed mail or unopened statements. By the time money is missing, the scam has often been going on for months. Let me weave in a Bay Area story that hits close to home to illustrate how these scams work. I worked with a family in San Mateo County whose dad had been managing fine on his own. What they didn't know, he'd been sending gift cards to someone he met online for nearly a year. Why didn't he tell anyone? Because he was embarrassed. Because he thought he was helping someone. Because he didn't want the kids to take over. That scam ended up forcing the sale of his home to fund care. This is how financial exploitation becomes a housing crisis. So, how to prevent scams before they happen? This is the most important part. Start the conversation early, not after something happens. Say, scams are getting sophisticated. Can we talk about how we'd handle it together? Normalize checking. Create a rule. Any requests for money gets a second opinion. Set financial guardrails. Daily withdrawal limits, alerts on bank accounts, a trusted contact at the bank, automatic bill pay for essentials. Reduce isolation. Loneliness is one of the biggest risk factors. Community, routine, and connection matter more than people realize. Well, what about the role of professionals? This is where the right support makes a massive difference. Professionals who help protect seniors include fiduciaries, daily money managers, elder law attorneys, care managers, senior transition specialists like me. We look at the whole picture: health, housing, finances, family dynamics. Prevention is always easier than cleanup. Why this matters so much? Scams don't just steal money. They steal confidence, independence, trust, family harmony, and sometimes the ability to stay at home. I've seen scams be the trigger that forces a senior move far earlier than planned. And that's why this conversation matters now, not later. Here's what I want you to remember. Seniors fall for scams because of emotion, not intelligence. Fear plus urgency plus authority is a dangerous mix. Prevention starts with conversation and structure. Guardrails protect dignity, they don't remove independence. Planning early keeps families out of crisis mode. This has been another episode of Sandwich Generation Solutions, powered by the Simplify Senior Transitions podcast. If you're worried about a parent's finances, housing, or overall safety, let's talk. Schedule a free consultation and learn more about my services at www.simplifyseniortransitions.com, or you could DM me anytime on Instagram at SoldByDale. And don't forget, you can also listen to the Simplify Senior Transitions podcast on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. If this episode could help another family, please like, subscribe, and share it. I'm Dale Corpus, and I'll see you on the next episode.